Hey guys, I'm Anthony and welcome to Life with Anthony. I know you guys are probably doing backflips right now. Oh my God, here Anthony is again with a third video after making YouTube is taking a backseat video. Well, I wanted to come on today. It was not my intent to come and make a video today, but I wanted to come on today and respond to some of the comments from yesterday's video. I felt like some of the comments needed to be responded to as opposed to me just trying to respond to every comment on the channel. So here is my response to some of the comments that you guys made in yesterday's video. I'm going to respond in two different categories, and then I'm going to maybe respond to certain comments. The first being is comfort and convenience. Not more than convenience. I saw the word comfort in a lot or several of your comments. You know, I'm in the comfort of my apartment. I'm in the comfort, just the whole idea of being more comfortable in an apartment. And what are you implying? That van dwellers are uncomfortable? That van dwellers setups are not comfortable? I don't think comfortable is the word that you want to be using. I think you want to more or less be using convenience, because there are several just watch all the van dwelling tour videos out there, and you will see that they are comfortable. So it's not a matter of sacrificing comfort, but when you talk about sacrificing conveniences, that's something different. And that's what I think a lot of you are thinking about when you use the word comfort. I think you mean convenience. And yes, that is the makeup of van life. Van life is sacrificing those modern conveniences, and not all van lifers sacrifice those modern conveniences. It depends on what your van life is in. But for the small time van lifers that are in like cars and minivans and things like that, they are sacrificing some of those modern conveniences. But that is something that every van dweller knows going into the van life. You know you're not going to have that convenience. You know you're going to have to make extra efforts in getting certain things done. It's just a known fact. And it's something that as a van dweller, you accept and you just do it, So that's not something that would make me or confirm not going back into van life, because, okay, I'm now going to be once again giving up my modern conveniences. It's van life. That's what happens in van life. All right. And now let's talk about, let me move it on because I don't want this to turn into a rant video. Let's talk about the pandemic here. I don't fear the pandemic. I don't live my life in fear of the COVID-19 and the whole pandemic, what's going on in the world. Maybe some of you do, but I don't. And I don't see the difference between my living in an apartment versus living in a conversion van is going to make any difference with the pandemic going on and COVID-19 going on. Are you saying that because I'm in an apartment, it lessens or decreases the possibility of me contracting the COVID virus? I don't think so. As a matter of fact, I know it doesn't. Because whether I'm in an apartment or a conversion van, I'm still going to be around the same number of people at work. I am still going to be around the same number of people or a certain number of people when I go to the grocery store. So it doesn't matter, in my opinion, from what I see, it doesn't matter whether I'm in a van or an apartment. I get it. If I happen to contract the COVID-19, at least I will be in comfort during my 14-day quarantine. Is that it? As a matter of fact, I see the conversion van as more of an isolation than the apartment. So I don't see the pandemic coming from my perspective of a concrete reason of not seriously considering going back into the van life. I just don't see neither of those reasons as a reason to not go back into the van life, or at least really consider it where I am as far as renewing the lease or not. Also, I don't know. I'm starting to lose my train of thought. I had it all in mind, but now it's starting to disappear. So let me quickly shift to some of these comments that I do want to respond to. One of them is, I think her name is, I don't want to have to scroll all the way down to find her, but I think her name is Granny Deb. Basically, her comment is saying that, you know, what makes me think that I'm going to be able to save $15,000 by not being out of the apartment. I don't see how you cannot see that. I honestly don't see how you cannot see that. The $1,000, soon to be $1,085 that I will be placing in the hands of this apartment, I will be placing in my savings account every month. So how can you not see that not paying the rent and putting it into my savings account is not going to increase my savings account by the amount that I'm giving away or paying to the rental office? So Granny Deb, I think that's your name. I will save that money. You know, I will save that money. Also, one of the comments that I really, really loved and I thought was the complete opposite of the majority of comments who were saying, don't do it because of this, don't do it because of that, don't do it because of this, is Joy Route. Joy Route, thank you so much for your comment. I absolutely loved it. I loved reading it. You were, to me, a prime example of someone who is not letting this pandemic and what's going in the world affect your choice to remain in the van life and continue to live your life, and you are enjoying your life in van life right now. And I'm going to read you guys Joy Route's comment because I absolutely loved it. Joy Route says, there have been some rough patches living in a van during this pandemic and also with unrest that is going on. However, and this is a big however, a week ago I purchased a new to me van for $12K, and before that I took my beloved van to Minnesota, so in the last month I spent around $15K. The only way I could afford to do so is because of van life. I'm living my wildest dreams and loving it. Sure, there have been some not so great days, but the adventure, let me tell you, it's been fun. Certainly there are perks to living inside, but when I want to get off the road for a bit, I go to a hotel or spend some time with family. It feels good because I can treat my family and enjoy life with extra money in my pocket. I considered getting a conversion van, but in the end, I went with a minivan and I'm satisfied. You could do so much with an extra $1,500 per month. You can invest in your candles or another business. You could go to ball games and enjoy a $20 hot dog and beer and not have to dig for money in the sofa for gas the next day. Go for it, Anthony. Get back into van life. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Joy Route. Because once again, you are a prime example of someone who is not letting the state of the world and the pandemic affect your choice to remain in van life. All right, I don't want to go too deep into these comments because most of them was a don't do it for this reason or don't do it for another reason. And as far as, now let's talk about some things in my opinion that are trivial, and that is furniture. Yes, I know. I bought not a shitload, but I bought some furniture for my apartment. Furniture is materialistic to me. I mean, I can put all of this furniture on Facebook Marketplace and or Craigslist or both of them and sell it and be done with it and wouldn't think twice about it. Buying furniture, and I know it doesn't make sense to some of you. Some people said it. And I know it doesn't make sense to you, and that's okay. But, you know, it's just furniture, people. I can get rid of it. I can sell it and make some money. So it's not like it's going to be a total waste of money. It would be a total waste of money. And to wrap all of this up, whew, you guys, I was really disappointed in some of you guys. I was, because I really thought that some of you guys would support my possibility of me going back into van life and just asking me and telling me to be careful. But in closing, what I want to say to you guys is this, and I want you guys to clearly understand this. So hopefully this will, I guess, make some of the comments, I don't know. But what I want to say to you guys is this. There is a grand scheme of things that I want to get done in my life and where I want to be. And within that grand scheme, there are different components that I want to get done so that I will be in a happier place in my life. I'm not unhappy by any means, but I want to be in a much happier and much peaceful state in my mind, in my life. And some of those components are, I mentioned to you guys a little while back that I would love to be back in Baltimore with my family and my friends and my mom, who is getting older. That's one component of the grand scheme. Another component of the grand scheme is that I just now recently mentioned to you guys that I have to get off a third shift. It's going to be the death of me. It's just not working for me. I'm a zombie most of the time. That's another part of the component of the grand scheme. Another component is my baseball road trip. I really would like to get moving on my baseball road trip. And what puts all of those things, all of those components together in the grand scheme is money. Money. I need to have a substantial amount of money so that when all of those components in my grand scheme of things come together, I will be okay. And that is why I think that, I'm really considering going back into van life in spite of what's going on in the world. Once again, I don't fear what's going on in the world. So if you guys could understand that and understand where I want to be and understand all the different components that makes up that grand scheme, you might be a little more supportive and understand that, van life, going back into van life would not be a bad thing, So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. I just wanted to come on and make a couple of response video to the comments. And by all means, making this video, it's not a guarantee that I have decided to go back into van life. Even if I decide to go back into van life, it really also depends on whether I can find this particular van that I'm looking for this time around at a price that I can comfortably afford. So I might say, okay, yeah, I'm going to go back into the van life, but if I can't find that vehicle, then no, I'm not going to go back into the van life, because that's the only type of vehicle that I would consider going back into van life. Just having that additional little heights and a conversion van where I can probably stand up in, or damn near stand up in, because I'm just 5'2", just having that additional can make all the difference in the world from my experience in van life in the minivan, and that's why I'm looking for this particular type of vehicle, or I would be looking for this type of vehicle this time around. So I think with wisdom, with experience comes wisdom. I went through that whole stage of trying to adjust and readjust to see what is best for me in van life. And I think I'm at a point now when it comes to van life that I have experienced it enough to know what will make my van life experience a whole lot better if I was to go into it again. With that being said, I hope you guys are doing well. Enjoy your week. And as always, thank you guys for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch my videos. I appreciate it, and I'm going to try my best to take you guys on a DoorDash ride-along soon. But other than that, I'll see you guys soon.